Today we're going to do something a little different from my normal content. We're going to go through my Nintendo Switch collection and also, I guess, more generally Nintendo collection. You guys can't really see all these wonderful things in my background because this room is so small. This video was inspired by the amazing Lakevi who did something similar. So I'll put that video in the description down below. But let's get into it. All right, first of all, I want to start with consoles. I looked everywhere for my 3DS, which I still have. Couldn't find it. The one time I needed it. I don't really play it, but I have a 3DS XL. I definitely think the XL was the best out of all of them though, especially if you did like to use the 3D. It made me feel sick though, so I never used it. But Nintendo Switch wise, this is my OG. This right here is the first console I have ever personally owned, and I love it so much. I had this a couple of months after release date, I believe, and this right here started everything. I wouldn't have this channel, my Twitch channel, any of that if it wasn't for this. So this console, although its battery life sucks, the Joy-Con drifts so much, has been through a lot, and I love it to pieces. I am tempted to reskin it. My only thing that puts me off doing anything like reskinning is my inability to stick things on straight. And I know the only thing that's going to annoy me more than just my plain Nintendo Switch is a sticker slightly off center or slightly at an angle on it. Next is the thing I told everyone not to do, and then I did it. I got myself an OLED. I genuinely didn't think this would be as life-changing as it is. I found myself never ever playing my Switch undocked. This Switch right here, I couldn't be bothered. I'd rather get up out of bed, go plug it into the TV and play it there than play it in bed. This, however, changed the game. I am back in bed playing my Switch. The screen is so much better. It is, to me, a Switch Pro. I don't care about, you know, the frame rate or not being 4K. This, to me, was the upgrade I needed. And I love this thing to pieces, especially the dock. I almost entirely wanted this for the dock. The dock is beautiful. It can also dock your other Switches as well, which is nice. And I'm trying to build up a gaming aesthetic in this room. At the moment, the aesthetic is trash, but it's fine. We're getting there. I would go as far to say this is a absolute must buy. It's my Pro controller. There is one other thing I'd say is a huge pro for this that I don't hear talked about compared to the Joy-Cons. If you have a look down at the bottom, there's really easy to access screws. I am, as people would say, a DIY noob. I have not unscrewed anything that doesn't have an IKEA label on it. However, I managed to get something sticky stuck underneath the controller here, and I managed to completely take this apart and clean it with not much difficulty at all, and it went back really nicely. Joy-Cons, however, are an absolute nightmare to take apart. So I think that is a huge plus to these. I can't speak for any of the wired controllers because I haven't tried to take those apart, but I think the ability to clean this from the inside compared to Joy-Cons, huge advantage. So yeah, for me, absolute necessity, couldn't be without it. I've had this since day one of my Switch. It's going all right. All right, next up is another necessity. Although to be fair, there's loads of different types, but I use this one. And I don't know, it doesn't hold like a crazy amount, but I do really like it. It's good to just throw in my handbag. And it even comes with, oh no, there it is. It even comes with like SD card holder slots, which I think is really cool because Switch memory is a huge issue. And if you have multiple smaller cards that you keep different games on, then I really like it. I really like it. Next up, we have my carry case. And this might be the first time I say this. I don't think you should buy this. There are better ones out there. Mainly because you can see that, oh no, I left stuff in it. Mainly because this right here is an advertisement as to what is in my bag, and that makes me feel uncomfy. I didn't think of this till a friend pointed it out, and yeah, when I use this, I'm a walking advert. Also, it's a really awkward shape and size. I've seen a lot of ones which are more like rectangular on Amazon. They're a bit more expensive, but I think I'd say go for that over this one. You've got a slot here and a case that came with it to put your Switch in. I like the fact it came with this as well. And then you've got a slot here for the dock that goes in this nice bit. You've got a pro controller section and then a part for the charger. It's fine. It does the job. But as I said, when you're like traveling on trains, buses, that kind of thing, walking to and from your house, it's not the best. It's fine to just throw in a cart. And I will say that I've moved 3 times since buying this and it has kept everything safe every time. I just think there's better on the market. Do I do these and then games? Let me get out the way so you can admire. Ta-da! But actually, the real thing I want to show off is not these, because I can pick these up. It's above it. You never really get to see these, but look at them. So I was really into Pogo, so I got gifted these for my birthday from my brother. I'm aware I didn't stick them up very well. They're on canvas, stuck to the wall at the moment. I really, really like them. I feel like they're not obviously Pokemon stuff. Like, you can get away with them and people won't be like, why have you got 3 Pokemon stuck on your wall? But like, if you know, you know. I won't spend too much time on the items behind me, but I do want to point out a few of them. Like, I have this Funko Pop. This is probably my favorite Funko Pop I have ever gotten. And it was sent to me by someone in the community. He's a furry Funko Pop. What more can you want? What more can you want? My amazing community got me him when I got my PhD. We call him Dr. Chew. We have my one and only giant Funko Pop. Also, you can see my Ring Fit ring down there. I wanted the rest of them, but they're also hella pricey and they're really hard to find now. Now, everything else you're about to see, including him, are all from the Pokemon Center. In the last, I want to say 3 months, the Pokemon Center's been available in the UK. You can order it online. Life-changing. Life-changing. So we've got him. I call him Thikachu. I love him to pieces. He's like a beanbag. He's beanbag material. He's very cute. And then we have one you don't get to see often behind me, which is my Mimikyu. I love him to pieces. I just wish he came with a warning that there is a giant pole inside of him. So I tried to smush my face into him and got a pole in the face instead. And then finally, I had to get both of them. I had to get both of them, so I got the Slowpoke as well. I think there's a size up from these as well. Right, let's put my son back. Next up is games. Now, for the most part, I try and buy the games physical. Mostly because then when I'm done with the games, I can lend them to my dad and he can play through them, so we only have to buy them once. And because my dad doesn't know a whole lot about gaming, so he tends to like to watch me play them on stream and then he figures out whether he'd like it or not and then gives it a go when I give it to him. But I will say there's a few exceptions to me buying them physical. And that is if I really want to play the game. For the last 2 years, I've lived in an apartment block where they give us our post at 9 p.m. in the evening. Like, they collect all the deliveries in the day and then in the student block, they hand them out at 9 p.m. If I wanted to play that game the day of release, I'd have to wait till 9 p.m. the day of release to get the game. So sometimes I just bought them digital, especially during the pandemic when I wasn't able to leave the house. So a lot of those games from that era, digital. We've got a lot of boxes to go through and then we'll go through the Switch. Hold on, I can hold these up. I can hold these up. Ta-da! Oh man, it looks bad when it's like this. First off though, we'll start with this. Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I got both the boxes in here. Now this would have been way cooler if the legendaries were cooler, but it's still alright. I should probably put it on display, and it is actually functionable as well. Like, it's got space for the 2 game cartridges inside. I was kind of surprised they didn't come with this. In this, they came in each of their boxes. I only just noticed there's a Sobble on the side. This game, whilst controversial in the Pokemon community for being good or not, will always hold a special part in my heart. This is what got me to fall back in love with Pokemon from when I was a child. So I love this. This really reignited my love for Pokemon again. Love, addiction, whatever you want to call it. So I like it. This has become one of my top 5 games on the Switch. I'm not even kidding. This game is incredible, beautiful, everything. Everything. I love it to pieces. It's up there as one of the prettiest games on the Switch. The gameplay is smooth. I love there's mini games in it. This is everything I could have wanted from a Kirby game and so much more. I didn't expect it to be this good. Then we have WarioWare. I regret buying this. I didn't realize, I don't know if it was because I didn't watch the trailers properly or what. I didn't realize there would be no motion controls in this game whatsoever. So whilst it was fun, it lost the magic for me. As you have Skyward Sword. It was all right. It was all right. I haven't actually finished it. I enjoyed what I did play. I need to finish it before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. I do think that if you are a Breath of the Wild lover and you are looking to play Breath of the Wild 2, there's a reason this came out before Breath of the Wild 2. So I would say even if you don't buy this to play yourself, definitely watch a YouTube video of a playthrough of this game. I think the lore and some of the information you get from here is going to be very vital to Breath of the Wild 2. Mario Golf. No, I don't know why I'm pulling that face. It was good. I just don't find myself reaching for it. But playing this with my parents was so funny and so good. Definitely an amazing party game. My mum is not a very good gamer. She doesn't understand games very well. All she plays is Animal Crossing. She managed to pick this up and play it and have fun playing it, which is a big deal. So this is a very underrated party game. Don't buy it. Please do not buy this on the Switch. It is terrible. The controls are awful. Buy this. If you have not bought this, buy this. This was my first ever Fire Emblem game. There's a lot of firsts for me on the Switch, to be fair. This was incredible. I think I got this really early on in my Nintendo Switch lifespan. And I just remember playing like 5-10 minutes and I had already fallen in love. It is one of the best voice acted games on the Switch. The story is incredible. The choices you make, the different endings, everything. This is a absolute must buy on the Switch. Don't be put off thinking it's like Wii Fit. This will actually make you sweat and out of breath and will increase your fitness. This was especially important during the pandemic. I used to play this a lot then when I couldn't go outside that much. It is pricey. You do need all the peripherals with it, but it is good if you're looking for a way to get more active inside your house. Then we have Animal Crossing. Do I even need to say anything about this? I mean, I've got like 1.5k hours in this game. Surprisingly good. I mean, I know it's got Zelda on the title. Loved the animation style. Thought it was amazing. This game was really hard. I looked through a walkthrough, I'm not gonna lie. I had to look through a walkthrough for a bit of this, but loved it. It's a good addition. I would say maybe not worth £55. If you can find it discounted, probably better to buy it that way though. Incredible game. I loved it. I am terrible at it and haven't finished it, but I will say very well done game. Very pretty game. Love the art style, love the story. I just didn't sit down and finish it. Why do I have a second one? I only have one physical copy. I'm so confused. This right here is possibly the best party game. This, if your parents or family members don't game at all, play this because the controls are super simple. Every single game has a video tutorial of how to control it, and it's all classic board games. Me, my mum, and my dad played Ludo for so long. And my mum played it without a single problem in the world. She loved it. If my mum can do this, everyone can do this. But yeah, super underrated. It's not a full price game. If you can find it on offer, even better. And it is exactly what it says on the tin. 51 games. And some of the games in it are like, do you remember, was it We Play? Like the game where you shoot the ducks. They have a tank game that's almost identical. Like, it's good. Whilst not in my top 5, I would go as far to say this is a must buy, especially if you love playing like couch co-op with your friends or family. I admit I'm very biased when it comes to this game, but I love it. And the reason why I'm biased is me and my dad used to sit for hours playing this together. The couch co-op on this is so much fun. This did suffer from a few hiccups, and that's mainly because this was originally released from the Wii U. And on the Wii U version, there are really clever mechanics that involved you to switch from being on the TV to drawing things with your fingers on the controller. And obviously you can't do that on this, so that kind of lost that element to it when it came to the Switch. Really solid game, often on sale for less than 15 quid, I think I've seen it. If you like platformers and a bit of fun, this game's good. I'm not even gonna say anything. Everyone knows what this is. I've deleted the videos from my channel, but oh man, this is top 5 game. Have I said that for more than 5 now? Top 5. This is one of the Switch's best games. Although it's struggling a bit now because it's not played as much, it's really solid. A whole lot of fun. My favorite shooter by far. I normally cannot play shooters on a dual stick controller. I am a PC gal when it comes to first person shooters. This game, however, with the motion controls with the Pro controller, makes it so much easier to play. I love this to pieces, and I am going to be streaming this non-stop when Splatoon 3 finally comes out. Man, they really need to give us a trailer for that. It's actually getting ridiculous. Solid game, just didn't really end up playing it that much. Wait, is this the good one or the bad one? This is the bad one, right? Yeah, the good one I got digitally. Don't buy this. It was better than the Wii U version, but compared to the All-Stars Mario Party, that's far, far better. My final physical copy game is Breath of the Wild. I don't think I need to say anything. Incredible. Top 5 game. Is this my 6th top 5 game? Maybe. I guess now it's time for the digital games. My only issue with this is I have 2 Switches. So this is for my Switch Pro. This is the thing I played most recently, so you can see all the games I've actually been playing. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I don't know what happened with that game. I think it's solid, but it dropped off so fast, and that might be because of the game next to it. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Top 7 game. I don't know how many top 5 games I've said. I love Arceus. It was the shake-up it needed. I think it could have been a Game of the Year contender if the graphics were better. The graphics and the way they deliver the storyline are where it really is let down, but the actual gameplay itself, I have never adored shiny hunting the way I do when I play this game. Then we have Stardew Valley, a staple. If you love Animal Crossing but need something else to play, then pick up Stardew Valley. I will say that its entry barrier is really high. You expect to have the wiki up at all times when you're playing your first playthrough of it, but it is a lot of fun. It is a loved game. The community are absolutely incredible. The only downside for getting it on the Switch is you can't mod it the same way you can if you got it on your PC. And then we have Super Mario All-Stars. Definitely buy that instead. It is incredible. All right, we're going to move on to the other Switch. I used to review indie games that you could pick up for less than 50p on my YouTube channel. We're going to not cover those when you see them, okay? Because otherwise this would last forever. Oh my god, Monster Hunter Story 2. I was in love with this game. I haven't finished it yet. It came at a really dense time in terms of like Nintendo games coming out. So I think I put about 50, 60, 70 hours into it and then fell off a bit. But it is incredible. It is very well done. The gameplay's fun. I will say I wish it was open world. It's half open world in the same way Arceus is, where you load in between different points. Story of Seasons. Couldn't get into it. I love Animal Crossing, could not get into Story of Seasons. Oh my god, Boyfriend Dungeon. Haven't finished it. Surprising amount of fun. You would have thought with a game where you date swords, it would be a bit weird. Also, great for LGBTQIA plus involvement as well, which we love to see, especially on Nintendo console. I feel like there's not a whole lot of games with LGBTQIA plus in first party games. Story of Seasons had gay marriage, I believe. You could have same-sex relationships in Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which was incredible. And then obviously this game as well. If there's any other games I missed on the Switch which have LGBTQIA plus elements, please let me know. I'd actually love to make a list of great queer games to play on the Switch. Pokemon Unite. I couldn't really get into it. I couldn't get into it. It wasn't for me. Oh my god, Diablo 3. Would I play Diablo 4 on the Switch? No. But when I had a really bad computer, Diablo 3 runs like absolute butter on the Switch. It was really good. Hyrule Warriors, another incredible game. The gameplay got a little bit repetitive, but it was so worth it for the story. The story answered so many unanswered questions from Breath of the Wild. It was really good in that respect. I will say, if the gameplay doesn't look like something you're into and you're looking to play Breath of the Wild 2, YouTube and find all the cutscenes put together. It's about like over 2 hours worth of cutscenes, just because it really helps you fall in love, especially with Zelda. I feel like I felt so many more things for Zelda after playing Age of Calamity that I didn't feel before. It just made me fall in love with Zelda as well as Link. Pokemon Snap. I might actually say I regret buying it. I didn't finish it. It was a full price game and it was really fun seeing all the Pokemon so beautifully animated the first time around. But man, there was nothing to bring me back. It got a bit repetitive. It was a solid game. It just wasn't worth full price for me. I have Octopath Traveler physical, but I gave it to my dad because I thought he'd really love it. Octopath Traveler, easily a top 10 Switch game. I could not recommend it enough. I have never seen a pixel game look as beautiful as Octopath Traveler. I could not recommend it enough. And this made me realize I've misplaced my Xenoblade Chronicles 2 box. Not a lot to say about that game. Adore it. I feel like you can't explain Xenoblade Chronicles 2 It's not to everyone's taste. It was the first game I head over heels fell in love with on the Switch. I love it to pieces. I got so emotional in the cutscenes. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything I have in this little gaming room of mine. Hopefully, maybe I can give a gaming room tour when I get the aesthetic I want, although we might be moving again soon. But thank you all for watching. As always, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get YouTube partner at the moment, and it would really help me if you guys could come along for the journey. And also, you can find me on Twitch playing all things Nintendo. Link in the description down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.